Okay, this section of the notes, 10-9, is just asking you to solve a quadratic equation using all four ways that we've learned about. So factoring and t-charting, doing it graphically to see where it's crossing the x-axis, doing it by completing the square, and then also using the quadratic formula. I'm only going to go through the first one with you guys because originally, had we done this in class, I was going to go through the first one with you and have you try the others on your own just for some practice on using these four different methods. So I did post the answers to the next four examples on Schoology if you want to try those ones, and then just check your work using the answer key on Schoology for the 10-9 notes. No matter which way you solve a quadratic, you still need to get the same two solutions. If it has two solutions, get the same solutions in the end. So like I said, we'll go through this first one together. Let's do factoring first. So x squared minus 8x plus 12 equals 0 is what we need to factor. This is going to be trinomial factoring. I'm going to fill in my x's. Signs are the same and they're both negative. So I need factors of 12 that add to give me negative 8. So if you go through the list of factors of 12, what we need to use is 6 and 2. Let's just double check. Negative 6 times negative 2 is positive 12, and then negative 6 plus negative 2 is negative 8. So once we have our factors, we're just going to split them using the t-chart and set them both equal to 0. And then just solve for x. On the left-hand side, I need to add 6. Right-hand side, I need to add 2. So it looks like our solutions are 6 and 2. Okay, graphically, again, we should be getting those same exact solutions. All you need to do is type the quadratic into your y equals, generate a table, and then graph those points. So while you're doing that, I'm just going to write down my table and then start plotting my points. You don't have to have all these points on there. Just to be safe, I always said when you're graphing these, just graph as many points as you possibly can. And this looks like a 10 by 10 graph. Oops, this should be a negative 3 here. 3, negative 3. Okay, and again, you should see that this is crossing the x-axis at 2 and positive 6. Remember, when we look for solutions on a graph, you're looking for where it crosses the x-axis. Okay, let's solve this by completing the square. So our function was x squared minus 8x plus 12. I'm going to set it equal to 0. First step, move the constant. I'm going to leave space to add that value that we're going to find by taking half your b term and squaring it. So it looks like I'm adding 16 to both sides. Okay, I'm going to use the shortcut here. Same sign and half of the b value, so x minus 4 on the inside. And negative 12 plus 16 gives us positive 4. Finally, just gotta get x by itself, so I'm going to square root both sides. Don't forget your plus or minus on the right hand side. Square root of 4 is plus or minus 2. and then finally add 4 to get x alone. So we're getting plus or minus 2 plus 4. So one solution is going to get a positive 2 plus 4, which is going to give us 6. Other solution is going to get negative 2 plus 4, which gives us positive 2, which is the same solutions we found using the other two ways above. Okay, finally using quadratic formula. Remember, quadratic formula requires you to know those a, b, and c values, and then you're just plugging into the formula that's given here. Again, that formula will be given to you on your exam, so no need to memorize it. Alright, a value in front of x squared is 1. B value in front of x is negative 8. Constant is 12. So I'm going to plug that into our quadratic formula. X equals negative b, so positive 8, plus or minus the square root, b squared, minus 4 times a times c, all divided by 2 times a. Just remember, I want you to evaluate the stuff under the square root symbol and then also your denominator. If you type all of the stuff under the square root symbol, you should be getting 16 under there. And then 2 times 1 is 2. Square root of 16 is 4, so it's going to say 8 plus or minus 4 divided by 2. And then finally just split it up. 1 gets plus 4. 1 gets the minus 4. Over here we're going to get 6. And over here we're going to get 2. Okay, so just notice no matter which way you solve a quadratic, you still are getting the same exact answers. So like I said, go ahead and try the next couple on here, solving it all 4 ways, just to kind of practice on those skills and to make sure that no matter, like I said, which way you are going to do this, you are getting the same solutions in the end. The answer key for numbers 1, 2, 3, and 4 are on Schoology, so if you try those,